week's episode of The Voice Party is brought to you by Big Boy Raps. Get your car wrapped by some of the most experienced and skilled in the Bay. Big Boy Raps, where the big boys play.
I'm not protecting you with anything you say right now, just so you know.
There's a disclaimer at the beginning of the episode.
Forget, puto, forget.
I'll add my name to it. Right. I'll add my name. The views and opinions of the guests of the Voice Party and Phil do not necessarily represent blah, 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 blah.
Cool.
Okay?
All right, Phil, go ahead.
3.
Welcome to the Voice Party, everybody. We got a great show for you today, but first and foremost, before we get started, I just want to say welcome back to the My Body, My Choice crowd. You guys have been missing in action for the past 2 years. I was starting to get worried about you guys. Glad to see you're okay. You had me worried.
I just want to say that an abortion is not going to get your family's members sick, Phil.
And it's yeah, I mean, abortions aren't infectious, so
and immediately
infectious abortions. Like, Jesus Christ, where do you get your education from, man?
Twitter, obviously, and obviously all of our progressive fans are now crying to their safe spaces because someone dared think different than them. Anyway, we got a special guest, Marcos. You're back. Welcome back, Marcos.
Welcome back to season
fucking episode.
The last episode of season 1, buddy.
Yeah.
History.
I'm glad to be back.
Longest season ever.
Longest season in history.
Longest season ever.
For any entertainment.
Yeah. You were like 85 episodes of it? No,
it wasn't 85.
Like 30.
I was like
30.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Including like a good quarter.
You were one of the first guests ever.
Yeah.
Now you're I don't know. What are you?
I was co-host, I guess, for a little bit, and then JD.
Didn't hear from you.
Yeah, JD kicked me off for a little bit, and then
I didn't kick you off.
No,
I did actually from the group chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to be seeing this shit if you're not coming to the groups.
Yeah.
You know.
JD gets really butthurt if no one responds for two times, and then he kicks you off, and then adds you back.
As it should be.
As it should be. I don't want to be ghosted.
No,
right?
yeah, I was gone for a little bit.
Yeah, where'd you go?
So,
Vacation.
A few things happened. First thing is, I sprained my ankle like right when we were about to shoot, like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really walk, couldn't get out there. Then I got COVID. And then I signed myself up for rehab. So I was gone for 30 days.
Hold on. Excuses.
Yeah.
I think as we said off camera, you've missed about as much time as Gasper, but you at least have a reason besides, I don't really want to.
Those are good excuses.
Yeah, those are good reasons.
The first two, I guess, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
The first, actually, COVID, I couldn't.
All of them, okay? Yeah. All of them.
They're all good. Because the third one you were...
He came with COVID once, bro.
There's a vaccine now. COVID ain't an issue. The pandemic's over. Everything's back to normal.
It's all up here, bro. It's all up here. No, for real, I'm proud of you for doing that. That's a big, that's a big step, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of the hardest things I ever had to do.
Ever?
In my life. Yeah. Because, I mean, I knew so I went for alcohol. Mm-hmm. You guys have seen me. I knew it was a problem. It just, I didn't know how to stop personally. I tried, you've seen me. I've tried to quit a few times, and I just couldn't do it on my own. And so I there was kind of like this last straw.
Yeah.
For me.
For sure.
I've had quite a few rock bottoms.
Yeah.
In my eyes, and I learned something, that you don't quit when you hit rock bottom, right? You quit when you're so disgusted with yourself. And that's kind of where I got to in my life, where I was just disgusted with my actions. I was disgusted with the fact that my life was based on a lie. I went out every night because I was like, I need to live life. I'm young, but I couldn't remember anything because I was so, fucked up all the time. Mm-hmm. So there needed to be a change in my life. And so I'm really happy. I've been happier than I've ever been in my adult life right now, going to meetings every day, and I'm doing well, working out again, exercising and staying healthy. So
sleeping better.
Sleeping so much better.
I didn't realize how much alcohol messes up your sleep.
100%. Yeah.
You're not well rested. You're
even if you're sleeping for 12 hours, you're still not well rested.
Yeah.
It fucks with you a lot.
Hangovers. When's the last time you had a hangover?
Maybe It was a 3-day hangover. I was in detox basically. It was 2 days before I went into. That was the last day of it. 2 days before I went in.
3-day hangover?
It was a 3-day hangover.
See, I never noticed it was a problem. I think the only time I noticed something was when we had that one meeting, like the voice party meeting at like 4 in the afternoon.
You want to talk about that?
Yeah, we could talk about it.
Yeah, we had like a meeting at like 4 in the afternoon at this park in Hercules, and then you showed up kind of. I
was drunk.
Yeah, and I was just like, the sun's still up, dude. The hell?
I started drinking at 9:30.
I was with him in the morning, and I was like, hey, you better not be drunk when we do this later. Because what it was we were just gonna eat pizza
and we were just gonna kind of get on the same page.
Yeah.
That was the plan.
That's the last time you went to anything voice party related. Yeah, that's crazy. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And I did notice it, and that's why I kind of was like, I mean, I don't know if you want me to say any of this.
No, go for it. Yeah,
well, it was
transparent.
I didn't realize how bad it was until it was one day you came over. And I was like, I'm gonna go to sleep, man. You know me. If you come over, if I really trust you, and you want to hang out, watch movies, I got all the snacks and all that shit. I'm gonna go to bed.
Yep.
Yeah. Good night.
You end up hanging out by yourself, like.
Yeah. I don't care. Well, I always had like a bottle of liquor, especially when I cut back. They would stay there, And I noticed I had like a bottle of wine and some liquor. And
I dipped into everything.
And you killed like 2 of them or something, right?
I killed the wine. I killed the bottle of wine.
And then the whiskey was like hella lower. I was like, holy shit, you skinny motherfucker drink all that? And that's when I was like, oh damn, this is some other shit. But I've never mentioned this before, because I don't want to fucking. No,
yeah. I mean,
and then that wasn't it though. It was when I got he did what's it called, that move that Jeff Hardy does?
Swanton bomb.
He did a swanton bomb on me in bed while I was asleep. When I said, just go ahead, hang out, and then
no, I was trying to tell you to wake up. I do remember that.
Why?
Because we were watching Goodfellas, yeah. And you were telling
comedy.
No, not comedy. I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
But you were like, you gotta watch this movie. I'm gonna lay down, because you said you were gonna lay down, and you weren't gonna go to bed.
No, that's bullshit.
And then you ended up falling asleep.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but so
if you see that, you're supposed to put on my sleep apnea machine before you leave.
So it's times like that that I had to really reflect on, right? And ask myself, what am I doing? Right? Why am I doing this? Why do I need to drink?
Yeah.
Why?
It's good. No,
no, I mean, and that's the honest truth too, right?
Yeah.
The honest truth is, we start talking about when I joined AA was like, what's the deeper reason why we drink? Well, maybe it started off as this, right?
Yeah.
But then it gets to the point where I just like booze. I like the way whiskey tastes. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, I am the kind of person that can't just have one. There's a saying, one's too many, 1,000's never enough.
Yeah.
And it's the biggest truth for my situation, So it sucks, You have to come. I kept telling myself, no, dude, I can just have one.
Yeah.
Just have one.
I'm not drunk.
You know what I mean? When you notice you're drunk yourself, that's when you're way past drunk.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a complete mental thing, and it just. But I'm 26 years old, and I'm proud of myself for catching it now than me being 50 and fucking up 10 times more relationships.
You got kids you don't talk to.
Kids I don't talk to. I'm very blessed in where I'm at right now. I'm about almost 2 months sober, which is the longest I've been sober since 19 years old.
No way.
Yeah. So it's, it's a whole different ballgame of living life.
Well, I take back what I said. I think the time I did notice it was because look, I've hung out with friends who maybe one night out of the whole month they'll get trashed.
Yeah.
And that's what I could take back. That's not when I saw that it was a problem. That was just like, oh, okay, I've only seen you once a month or so, and we hung out at that point. One of the first times was like, oh, that's just, we're just hanging out, and maybe that's why you just want to drink today,
Right.
I think it was, well, I don't know if this is remember that show?
Yeah.
Were you drunk that day?
Yeah.
You said you weren't, but I was like,
what's it called?
The one where you farted.
Oh, I was tipsy. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. But you told me you weren't, so I was like,
yeah.
And that's when I was like, I've had friends who have addiction problems.
I got drunk that night.
Okay. Yeah.
I continued to drink.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you weren't satisfied with just being buzzed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's, man. Yeah. I kind of, I don't know, wean myself off of that because I'm the same way. We're like, let's keep drinking, let's go out, you know. But I have that problem with other stuff, you know.
Right.
Everything with moderation, they say.
Including moderation.
Including moderation. Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. You know, when it comes down to a mental obsession, right?
That's different.
And that's what I have.
Sounds hot. What is that?
It's just addictive personality, right?
Oh yeah.
There's the honest truth is moderation is not a word in my definition. You know what I mean?
That was more toward him than you, sir.
No. I mean, 100%.
I have other problems.
I mean, but yeah, it could go with food too. You know, it could be anything. It's like,
Sure.
you know, unfortunately, moderation is not, or was not a logical thing in my life, right? So, like, if it was junk food, right?
Yeah.
Something as easy as chips.
Yeah.
I can't just have one bag of chips. If it's the little ones, I have to eat 2 or 3 to satisfy myself, right? If I go to the store and get a Reese's, I get the king size, and I found myself doing this a couple times. I get 2 king sizes because I want more Reese's peanut butter cups. You know what I mean? Like, I can't just have the 2 that come.
Right.
And so, you know, when you realize, like, hey, this mental obsession has to stop. I have to somehow get rid of this. It's, you know, it turns into a whole different way of thinking. You know, you have to do certain things in your life, change certain things, and also kind of change who you hang out with. You know, I hung out with my cousin the other day or yesterday, but it was cool because we weren't going out to eat or drink or anything. I was helping her with her basketball tournament, so it was very simple, kind of a working day. I got paid for it, you know what I mean? So, you know, but when it's like, hey, do you guys want to hang out for the day? I kind of have to make a mental decision. Do I want to drive just in case? You know what I mean? I have a hard time now really going with people. I like to drive because if I need to go, I need to go. You know,
You want to drive there yourself?
Yeah. But then I also struggle too because gas is so freaking expensive.
And let me
we
guess
can't help you there.
Yeah.
So it's
Is there an AA for that?
There is. It's called the Republican Party.
Motherfucker! I knew you were
look,
gonna.
the gas
Damn
prices
it,
are up
Bill.
all over the world.
Yeah,
okay?
I know.
Don't let him trigger you.
just-
Don't let him trigger you.
Facts are facts, though. I'm just saying.
Don't calm down your hands. Don't let him trigger you.
It's for the listeners. It's not for me.
Okay.
But no, I was like, dang it, I lost my train of thought.
No, but it's a good thing because I guess you have to drive. I know whenever you drove somewhere, you would tell me, "Hey, I can't drink today. I'm driving."
Yeah.
That's a good. That's
I
actually
was good. I was good to that point, because, just because I don't want to go through, you know, the process of, you know, DUI again. I don't want, you know.
And you would think that would be the
Right. You would think a lot of things. I heard someone say, and this hit me so hard, right?
Yeah.
That this guy goes, I have my kids tattooed on me, like their names tattooed on me, right? And I always said, man, I would die for them. I'd take a bullet for them, right? Mm-hmm. But he goes, I looked at myself, would I ever actually do that? Because I haven't even been in their lives for 10 years.
Would I get healthy for them?
Right. But when does that start, right? When do you do that? Right? So it's like, you say all these things, you think these things, but in reality, where is your mind at?
Right.
It's with the drugs. It's with the alcohol.
Keep that same energy.
You know what I mean? Yeah, 100%. I mean, and with my situation, it was going further than that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It was getting into drug use. It was getting into that. And I'm 26. I have such cocaine.
Wow.
You know, I'll be transparent with you guys. It was cocaine. I found out that I've done meth a couple times.
Wow.
You know, it was
You
by
found
accident.
out?
Yeah, it was by accident. Like, it was, I guess, whatever we bought wasn't coke.
It was
speed. You know what I mean?
just cocaine and meth mixed together.
And it's like, you know, if I was so dumb to that point, like, not giving a fuck, who knows where it would have gone, right? Now there's fentanyl and everything. And
that's what worried about, because I knew about the cocaine thing, that you every once in a while would play with that. And you know, I've heard a lot of people right now, you don't know what the fuck is in there. That's how crazy it is that they're giving out fucking test kits so you can test if there's fentanyl in your coke.
In your coke.
That you're buying illegally. That's how crazy it is right now. What a wild world we live in.
Trying to keep people from dying.
Right.
Of stuff they're already going to do, you know?
Well, that's the whole thing with giving out fresh needles, because you're already going to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Might as well do clean
needles.
Yeah. I mean,
fucking
you know.
Democrats, right?
Tell me about it. Thank God it's election season.
No, but I worried about that, because like, you're in this fucking music.
Yeah, I'm in a
world.
band.
How's that going to go going forward?
Yeah, you know, that was a big worry, and we were talking about this because you had asked me, well, what's it like backstage now and stuff. So it started off with,
You haven't had shows yet, though.
no, I haven't had shows yet.
Okay.
Since I came back. We have a couple booked already, which is fun and exciting. But you know what happens? I was able to have a bottle of champagne and drink before the show. I was able to have a couple shots of whiskey and still perform.
Yeah.
Then the band cut me off to only like PBRs, because it's the lightest beer you can have, and like 1 or 2.
Also the shittiest.
Yeah, also the shittiest. And then
Yeah, gross.
And then it was, you're not allowed to have anything. And it made me feel like shit.
Yeah.
It made me feel like a child.
Yeah.
You know, because it's
Being
like, damn, I'm a
limited.
grown ass man. Why can't I have?
Right.
How come you guys can have a beer and I can't have a beer? Well, because I can't handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll be drunk before I get on stage. Now that hasn't happened, thank God. I have been tipsy going on stage one time, and like I gotta say, like, I was very conscious about that. But who knows where it would have gotten if they didn't even cut me off? You know what I mean? I would have been to the point where I couldn't perform because I was too drunk. It would have gotten there, 100%.
And we had an episode with one of my old bosses. He came here and he talked about, we were going to talk about sobriety.
Right.
Unfortunately, it was the same weekend he relapsed after 14 years.
Oh,
Yeah.
my goodness.
And that's kind of what I wanted to bring up when we're talking about this. Like, you know, I mean, has that crossed your mind? Relapse?
That's my biggest fear right now.
Okay.
My biggest fear is relapse.
Do you ever think you'll be at a place where you can, like, I mean, you know, I hated doing that earlier. I took a little bit of champagne and
Oh, no, yo, you're all good.
No, but I'm saying, is that something that, like, do you aspire to not think about it, or where you can be like, all right.
You mean, do
Like,
I aspire?
what do you want to go from now, like, as far as alcohol? Like, do you want to not crave it? Like, are you craving
Oh,
it?
yeah. So right now I'm not craving it, but it's something we call, like, either the pink cloud or the honeymoon phase, right?
Right, exactly.
I'm so fresh into it that I'm not, like...
Because the test isn't this right now.
I mean, the test is this every day, right?
Like, every day.
Yeah, every day.
Yeah.
I walk into a store, there's liquor. The first thing they're advertising is, this beer, you know, is 10% off. And I'm like, the first thing I used to do was be like, what's new? What beers can we try?
That's
You know what
inflation, homie. That's inflation.
All those microbreweries with the different flavors.
Yeah.
And
They're
they're coming
making it
out with
exciting.
like fucking s'mores flavored beer now. It's
I mean?
like,
Yeah,
oh,
that's
gosh.
horrible. I mean, I was never into that stuff. Yeah,
I like sweet shit.
yeah, but then
I'm
like
weird.
all the new whiskeys I want to try. You know
Right,
what I
right.
mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm a hard liquor dude. So
Like that retreat you went to with your work crew, where it was like,
Yeah.
you were gonna go try stuff, but you already came to that smashed.
dude, yeah.
I'm not laughing at that. It's
No,
just,
no. I was
I
already...
would probably do some shit like that.
Yeah,
you know?
I was
Like,
already
it's
tipsy going into a work retreat that was
wine, like
purely
whiskey.
made for party.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which was, I guess, in hindsight, was actually
Only
not
time you've been on time.
Yeah, it wasn't. No, we were late for that because I went with
I
my.
mean, on time as like.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was already kind of caught up, but I was already. It took such a long drive that I was already kind of sober by the time we got there. But it was like the one time appropriate to show up drunk to a work event. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I was going to. But yeah, you know, I was pretty good at work. I worked at a bar. Yeah, I worked hard. And it didn't.
You're a hard worker.
Yeah, and the drinking didn't come, especially at work, until after. But it was a fast drunk, right? Because it would be, we're off at, bar closes at 2. We're not done till 4:35 in the morning sometimes. But that was us hanging out a lot. We'd be done in an hour or two.
Because I remember you used to say, "Oh, it was up till 5." Like, what the fuck? The bar closed at 1.
Yeah, bar closed at 2, and we're still there. But it's like, because now it's our turn to have the fun, right?
And
because
it's like every night.
And it's every night, right? And so there was a lot of times where I just blacked out, And then it wasn't fun if I got off early and I blacked out at the bar, and all like the regulars would be like, "Do you remember last night?" I'm like, I have no recollection, and
you stole a goat.
yeah, exactly. And then the whole thing was, "You ready to do it again tonight?" Because that was entertainment for them, where it was starting to become embarrassing for me.
Horrible. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. It was funny to them that I would get trashed that much.
That's not good.
Yeah. And at what point was that? Is that a way to live? You know what I mean?
And that, I'm sure that kind of like makes you rethink who you hang out with.
Oh, 100%. Well, that's why I had to, unfortunately, leave the bar. It's one of the best jobs I ever had. Yeah. I loved all my coworkers, and my bosses were amazing to me. The money was great. They were amazing. It's just, unfortunately, because of this new journey, I can't put myself in that situation. There's no reason for me to be at a bar right now. That
could lead to like ruining your career with music and
100%.
All that stuff. Yeah, 100%. Everything good they have going for you, really.
Yeah, 100%. I heard someone, what's it called? I was at this like kind of church thing for AA, and he was telling the story about this dad and the son. He was in the bathroom, he was shaving, right? And his son put on shaving cream too, didn't really know what he was doing. He was using his finger, just imitating his dad. And his dad was looking at the razor and he goes, "This is a gift that one day I'm going to give to you, right? But I can't give it to you this early because you're going to hurt yourself." And I was thinking about like, what if like, I'm praying like the band's going to make it, right? I'm working my ass off for this to happen. But I was so in the midst of my addiction that what if that gift came too early?
Yep.
And I fucked it up. I died.
Exactly.
I got involved with the wrong things. Now because of my stupid self, I fuck up 4 other guys' dreams.
Yep.
Because I couldn't handle myself. And I'm the
very common story.
Yeah, and I'm the face of the band.
Yeah.
It's just the honest truth. So if I fuck something up, I'm fucking it up for everyone. If someone, like if David or JD fucked up, it might not necessarily get out as big. It's just kind of the reality of things. So, I wasn't writing music. My excuse every day was I'm going out so I can live life, so I can write. But what was my life? It was the same thing over and over again. There was no inspiration. I was more interested in going out and partying instead of writing. So, my biggest fear became, am I ever going to write a song again?
You're not absorbing things.
No, you're not.
Yeah. You're just
and when you're blacking out, you don't remember anything. Exactly. So what was the point?
Yeah.
Right? I went to Rehab. They let me have a guitar in there, and I wrote 4 or 5 songs, and it was great. Some of them were kind of shitty, but
the experience.
It's the experience. Good. I was so proud of myself for finally writing again. Then I came home and I was like, Nando, let's get down to it. We're recording every day now till 2 a.m. sometimes. Now my excuse for being up at 2 a.m. is I was being productive.
There you go.
You know what I mean?
Should be.
Do you ever find yourself where like, I know one of my friends, when he stopped drinking, he got deeply into cigarettes and sweets.
Yeah. So my sweet tooth has come back.
Okay. Which is part of the
my eating
detox,
has come back.
right?
You just
whoa, man.
Swapping
not
addiction for addiction.
Not detox,
yeah, because that's not detox, but like
it's
some
part
people,
of your recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah. My appetite's come back a lot,
which is good. Cause
I haven't been able to. I started finishing dinners maybe 3 or 4 days after I came back from rehab.
I invited this fool to a barbecue and he had 2 bites and he was done. I'm like, what the fuck?
I mean, hey.
No, but it was like unnatural because like you wanted to drink more than you wanted to eat.
Yeah.
That's what I noticed. Like the beer he could fit in there, like one little taco with me, like, and I was like, what the fuck?
I couldn't eat. I couldn't hold down. Food.
Because you drank more than you ate.
So much. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I'm not like because
I know.
Yeah. So yeah, it's crazy. It's little things, you know, that you don't really notice, but it makes you so unhealthy.
Because you get used to bad stuff. You can get used to bad stuff, and
100%.
Yeah.
And as far as the cigarette thing goes, I don't smoke cigarettes. I have a pack in my car that's like new, but I don't touch it. When I was at rehab, all we did was smoke cigarettes and drink coffee.
Yeah.
For like 20 cups a day, easily half a pack of cigarettes a day for me. Went through 2 cartons and more
a day.
No, God, no.
Oh, during the whole
through 30 days.
I heard at some rehab facilities they don't even allow that. Like,
no, every
some
rehab allows cigarettes. They don't allow vapes. There's only like one that allows vapes, and that's because obvious reasons, like meth heads and stuff can definitely change that shit.
Yeah.
And when I was there, dude, man, people got caught with drugs left and right.
What did you take away from rehab, not from your own experience, like other things you saw there, which is your experience, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh shit. I thought, you always see that.
Yeah. I realized how blessed I am. And I knew I was blessed. I knew I didn't have it the worst. But in my mind, I felt like I had it bad. And when I heard other people's stories, it compared to mine, I was very blessed to know and have conversations with some people where they wished that they had my life.
Wow.
And that was a big eye-opener, that, look, man, you caught it at a really good time for yourself. Because everyone goes through their own experience, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Some people think I need rehab because I had 3 beers every day. And you're not drunk every day, you just had 3 beers every day.
Yeah.
Right.
Or a glass of whiskey every night, which actually would be all right if you're not getting fucked up every night.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But then there's some people that don't think they need rehab, and they have absolutely nothing anymore. They have no more veins left in their fucking body to shoot up. I've heard some crazy stories of where they do once all their veins are shot.
Sell everything they own.
And you know what I mean? You're under the bridge, and they're not bad yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like that movie Requiem for a Dream. Has anybody ever seen it?
I've heard of it, but I've never seen it. It's about addiction,
right? It's a fucked up movie.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're talking about there.
And it's real, It's unfortunate, but it's real.
Yeah.
And I think that's like one of the biggest things I took, that I'm just so blessed. But learning a lot about myself, right? I've become a lot more spiritual in this process. And it's been doing wonders for me, to be honest. Just because as far as like living life, we are taught to, like, there is a higher power somewhere in this universe, and I know that I can't do this alone, right? So there is someone that up there that I trust. Mine is God, and it's just, that process every day has helped me. So praying, meditating every night. I try to pray in the morning, to be honest. Sometimes I forget, but I'm going to meetings every day and just getting things off my chest.
Every day?
Yeah, every day except for today, because
this is
my meeting. Yeah, but it's it's funny though. It's something to do with my recovery, right?
Wow.
So we say this. We don't stay sober by ourselves. We stay sober by helping the next alcoholic. We stay sober by helping other people, doing community service, whatever it is, right? It's not only distracting, but it's also motivation. And who knows who's gonna watch this and be like, hey, that's what I'm going through, or I just went through that. You know what I mean? I think, like, oh, sorry, I had to point to this. But yeah, you know what I mean? It's about helping the next person.
Yeah. I noticed that helps some people I've talked to, that helps them stay sober when they go and see someone really bad, because sometimes you'll forget about it, like we talked earlier, where you come from, or
yeah,
it helps you, like, oh shit, okay, I could go back to that.
Yeah. It's definitely hard to, because you know what's crazy? For a long time that you have a problem, right? I've known for years that I've had a problem, and it's just pulling the trigger hard enough to get the help, right? And that's what it ultimately comes down to, you know.
And we've known each other, what, now 2 years?
2.5 years maybe.
And that's why I felt bad when I was like, hey, man, you know,
Yeah.
because I don't feel like, I don't know, I haven't known you long enough to.
Yeah.
I remember telling you like, hey, dude,
Like, calm down.
calm down. Yeah.
Which I really do appreciate.
Well, I mean, but I didn't know you that well, so I just also felt like I'm never gonna do that again
Yeah.
because I feel weird. You know,
Yeah.
When you don't know someone that well, at that point, I didn't know you that well.
Right.
You know. Yeah.
I mean, like, well, what I was going to say is going back to what you were saying earlier about just like the company that you keep.
Yeah.
There's a verse in the Bible. I forget the verse name and number, but it's he who walks with the wise grows wise, but a companion of fools suffers harms. You got to be careful of the company you keep. If you're always around addicts and people drinking,
Right.
that's going to affect you negatively.
Right.
So I'm just going to put that out there. I don't drink. I don't smoke. We can get into why if you guys care why.
Yeah,
But
no. Yeah, 100%.
if you're ever moment of weakness, bored, need a sober person to hang out with, like, you feel free to
No,
fill
yeah,
up. I got a car. I'm down.
that'd be
Bill's your man.
You,
Yeah, 100%.
you don't have to. So I grew up with a family of alcoholics and drug abusers. I've seen what it does to people,
Right.
and that's why I don't drink, and that's why I
Okay.
don't smoke, because I just was like, I don't ever want to go down that road.
Right.
I don't ever want to risk ending up like that. And my whole life, I've had people say things like, "Oh, well, how do you know you won't like it if you don't try it?" And it's like, well, I don't want to like it. I don't even want to like it. I don't even
Right.
want to try it.
You see what it does to people.
Yeah.
Everyone's gonna like it at some point if you
Yeah.
use it
Yeah,
enough.
exactly. So if you need a support circle, like, you don't have to face this alone. Like, you got
I
me, you
appreciate
got
that.
JD, you got Joaquin.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, we're all here for you, whatever you need.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure you guys are. I know I am.
And
Yeah.
And,
And that's why I was so excited when you
Absolutely.
called too.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt.
I was just going to echo what Phil said. My idea of having fun is not going out and having a drink. Do I drink occasionally? Sure.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's never just like, oh man, I got to go to the bar and like slam some down. So I can definitely provide a safe space. My home is always open to if you want to come and you want to kick it.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Sorry,
No,
there's just a bell
Yeah.
somewhere.
Was that someone at the door?
Probably delivery guy.
Okay.
You wanna,
They're going to leave it at the
Oh, okay, cool,
instructor
cool.
leave it
Yeah.
at the suite.
No, and that's the thing that I, 2 years ago, I discovered, I mentioned that on the last podcast when we had my boss here, where I started doing comedy well, let it start, but my first show, 2012, every time I performed from there until 2019, that's a lot of shows. I always had to be buzzed to go up.
Yeah.
And I noticed that once I started doing shows sober, it was way better. Way better. Like, now, like,
One thing that annoyed me, like when I first started rapping, is I'd encounter people that I would like, oh man, this guy's really talented. I want to do a song with him. And sometimes it'd be like, well, I don't work with anybody unless we smoke a blunt first, because that's the thing in like the urban community. And I'm like, I don't smoke, and I wasn't about to like start just for that, just
Right.
for a feature.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And that's what I don't like when people say I need a smoke, I need a drink. It's like, before I got to do this, to get in the mood. Like, well, if that's what you need, then maybe this isn't for you, And that's why I started doing shit sober, because I wanted to see if this really is in me,
Right.
or if it's just something I do when I'm being like,
Right.
a clown
Right.
for people's amusement.
And see, and it's kind of similar. Like, I started doing music. Yeah, I started doing music sober. I wasn't drunk when I first joined the band. I wasn't, doing drugs or anything. So, for me, I knew where my headspace could be. I knew how powerful my music could be if I did it the right way. And when I decided like this needs to change for reals, there's there's that portion of me that was like, I know I'm trying to get back to this place. I'm trying to get back to a great mental space. I'm trying to get back to, something that I know can be wonderful. Not something that I'm trying to discover if I can do. I know I can do. And I know I can do it really good if I just apply myself.
Yeah, I think the last thing anybody wants is to have the Tomorrow's June episode of VH1 Behind the Music.
Yeah, 100%.
Because we all know how those episodes end, right? We know how
Never
that show
will.
ends. It's a formula.
Never in right.
Yeah, 100%.
And like I said, the reason why it did scare me more to see like how, remember that show
Yeah.
we went to San Jose? You came with me
The
in San Jose.
Oh, was it the one where
I had a panic attack on the way back?
Yeah, yeah.
I put him in a really messed up situation because he was a little drunk, a little bit.
I wasn't drunk.
Well,
that show?
Yeah. See, you don't remember?
No. I was.
We drank. You drank.
Yeah, I had. Because you said you were. Yeah.
And then I ended up having an extreme panic attack.
Oh, right. Where I had to drive and then halfway.
Oh no!
I only had.
You seemed drunk to me. To me, you were like slurring, and it was, to me, you looked drunk.
Oh, see, I didn't think that, but
yeah.
But that's also the mindset, right? So. And
then when you got to my place, I mean, I don't want to be like putting this out there.
It's okay.
When you got to my place, you drank more. Then I Ubered you home. I was like, oh shit. Mm-hmm. The reason I always kind of like, you're a musician. I had a lot of musician friends fall into addiction, and I see that a lot with comics, musicians.
It's entertainment. I don't know what it is, but it is like this kind of. It's just the thing we do, right?
Yeah.
It's
we're at bars all the time.
We're at bars. That's all. But I mean, that's all we do, right?
And the bars offer you free drinks.
Yeah, you get free drinks, right? You get.
It's usually what you get more than anything.
100. Yeah, you don't even get paid. Yeah. You get paid in booze or drugs.
Yeah.
I mean, I've never gotten a free bag of Coke for performing, but
gotten free weed.
Yeah, I've gotten weed. Yeah, but it's like, you get free booze. That's how you get paid 90% of the time, because we're all doing it for exposure and stuff. And,
calorie intake right there.
Yeah. But like, so it's just so normalized for entertainers, even at such a young stage in their careers, to be like, yeah, I'm an alcoholic, I'm a drug addict. And then at some point it's become so normalized to like use that as your character, your identity, right? And so we promote it like, yeah, man, I'm all strung out, but like that's like kids now want to be that. Like that was my thing, right? I saw Wolf of Wall Street. That's my favorite movie of all time, right?
Really?
Yeah. But like
that movie makes me anxious.
Yeah, but like I want it. But every time I see it, I'm like, I want to do some fucking coke right now. I want to party up hella bad right now. And so I haven't seen that movie in a second, as you can tell. But
and good on you.
Yeah, I'm staying away from that movie for a second.
Or if anything, if you watch it, you're like, wow, I wanted to be that.
Yeah, that would be, I mean, when I think about it, I'm like, how sad. Because even in the movie, it shows how sad his life got, right?
Yes, they're fucking monsters. Not because of the coke use, because with how they screw over people. It's like, I won't be you.
Yeah, but
atomic greed, man.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
100%.
Greed on roids with coke.
Mm-hmm. Quaaludes and everything. Yeah.
What I do like though is going to shows and seeing like comic friends of mine like, oh, I don't drink.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, cool, because you're around this shit all the time. So like, I see that, and I see, okay.
Your one friend, the one comic that started coming a lot.
I don't want to mention names.
Oh, okay.
Which one though?
Oh no, he's sober too.
You know the guy.
There's a couple. That's why I was like.
Oh, okay. Then never mind.
What show was he at?
He was at. Well, he's been at a few of the Bridges and the. Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. You know.
No, yeah. He used to be a musician too. Mm-hmm. He thinks he's mentioned Eric. Oh, yeah, we just yeah. And there's a lot of them. So like there is people that are straight edge. The punk community is huge on that. The Gilman, no alcohol allowed in that venue.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No alcohol, because they want like the whole gospel of punk to be able to reach kids. So like
that's dope.
That's one of the reasons. And a lot of people in the community are straight edge. Like Henry Rollins, the famous, he's straight edge. There's a lot of.
I didn't know that was so ingrained in punk culture.
Not like all of it.
Not in all punk culture.
There's a lot of drug
use and stuff in punk culture.
Yeah. Especially drugs, heroin and shit, But there is a big like, no alcohol, no drug.
That may be the cleanest group of rockers I'd ever heard outside of Christian rock, boy. It's like,
Christian rocks aren't clean either.
Aren't clean either, bro.
Okay.
Because a lot of them aren't just Christian rock bands. They're just paid.
POD's a Christian band technically, and I'm sure they partied hard, so it's one of those things. Like you hear some satanic. There's a satanic heavy metal band from Finland or Norway, and the lead singer is a vegan like dude, like I think he's straight edge.
Yeah,
but they sing about
Satan.
like this.
The
like devil wants them to be healthy, I guess.
Some of the dirtiest comics I know are like straight edge.
Mm-hmm.
They don't drink. They smoke
yeah.
weed, but like I don't know how you feel about weed right now.
No, I don't smoke anymore. Well, I didn't smoke anyways.
Yeah, you did it anyways.
Yeah, I wasn't a weed smoker, so it's
But I see
easy.
those guys that smoke weed every day, like, because they're still smoking something.
Yeah.
But I see them as like, I don't worry about them as I do with alcoholics, because they alcoholics.
You know what's funny? They're more.
Because I'm sure
chill.
people go to the rehab for weed, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, it's not as common. There was one guy that was in there, but there was a lot more. It's so funny, actually. I used to. I don't want to say it like this, but just be honest. I like kind of look down on just potheads as I'm an alcoholic, right? And my mindset was like
the pecking order.
Yeah, right. Like alcoholics are way better than stoners because you guys are just like zombies. We're over here having fun, but then also we're the biggest idiots in the world. You know what I mean? Like we're over here destroying things, and these potheads are just stuck in the room, like
playing video games and
laughing and fucking
right,
talking about UFO.
right. Yeah, so like that was like my idea of that was just like, oh, this sucks. Why do you want to smoke weed? Let's go fucking drink. Let's go do blow, because then we're up and we're like da, 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 da. And then you're sober, and then you hear the people you used to hang out with talk when they're still on that, and you're just like, oh yeah, we didn't make no sense whatsoever.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we even talking about?
Yeah,
we're worse,
right? I'll be honest. All the times I've smoked weed, and all the times I've been drunk, I've almost ruined friendships being drunk. I threw a fucking, my punching bag. I threw that at a group of my friends because I was, whatever insecurities you have. Yeah, it was all that shit.
Emotions just get heightened.
You've all been plotting behind my back.
And weed. I drew some of the best drawings.
yeah.
I written some funny jokes I never thought of, but just, I'm not advocating for it. I'm just saying, like, I had that thing too where like, oh, you boring ass pothead. I'm gonna fucking drink, Yeah.
And, disclaimer to the young that may be listening to this podcast, like, we may say things and make weed sound light, but you got to remember they're sneaking fentanyl and
everything,
horrible things.
Yeah, I knew someone who OD'd on fentanyl that was laced in their weed.
You could totally die from it.
And I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
That's insane.
I had a cousin years ago, back in like 2008. I'm not going to name his name, but his brain has these like scarred lesions on it because somebody laced his marijuana with something else. Like he didn't roll his own blunt, and like the change was like overnight. Like I remember I used to hang out with him, and we'd have normal conversations and play video games and all that, and then like I didn't see him for a couple of years, and then when I came back into his life, he was just like, he'd sort of like his head is moving back and forth really quickly, and he's stuttering, and half the things he says that he's on some sort of medication to keep his like mental state regular, and he has to have somebody watching him all the time so he doesn't go wandering off somewhere. It's like, he's like you want to talk about a zombie, you know what I mean? It's sad, and it's really sad. So it's like, be safe. The safest thing to do probably is just to abstain, or if you must, grow your own. You know what I mean? Like
I mean, and look, like we talked about earlier. Honestly, there is. Like, I'm not like sharing this story to be like, oh, alcohol is bad, weed is bad. It's just, like you said, moderation. It's
a tool you used for your.
I used it so, we say this, alcohol wasn't my problem. I was my problem. Alcohol is the solution to my problem. The problem is that solution wasn't really doing much for me, right? Except for causing more problems. So I went through this phase of alcohol was fun, then it became fun with problems, then it just became problems. But in my head, the problems weren't bad enough to still address.
Yeah.
I have a lot of problems to address.
Yeah.
You know, I have a lot of people to apologize to. I have a lot of things that I fucked up.
Life's hard enough without alcohol.
Yeah. And the problem is I would mask one problem with alcohol, and then that would add on more problems, because now I'm like, fuck, I don't want to address that problem that I just made again.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to mask it with alcohol again. But now I just keep stacking and stacking and stacking. And now I have this mountain full of problems in my head and in my life that somehow either have to get fixed. Although I do have to acknowledge that there are going to be problems I'm not going to be able to fix.
Right.
There are going to be people that I'm not going to be able to make amends with because of my actions. It sucks. It sucks to think about. I'm very prepared for that, because it's a really unfortunate thing, but it was because of my actions that, you know, I have to face these consequences, you know. But every day is day by day, and I just have to keep moving forward, you know.
That's what I kind of wanted to say. Is like, I don't know. I don't want you to think I was avoiding you.
No.
You know, which I hadn't talked to you in a long time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I wanted to bring you back on here. And like, I know it seemed like, okay, I didn't kick you out of the group, and I never, you know. Yeah. So
no, 100%.
Okay. I love you.
No, I love you too, man. I really appreciate all you guys, even for having me back too, especially like after how I was after, you know.
I was like, man, I hope I like, all right, whatever. We'll still keep doing this thing, but like, when I did, we would, like you said, we noticed you were drunk that day. We were like, oh shit, like, you know, I hope you're okay. That's all.
Yeah, and I do apologize to every single one of you guys, because like that was, you know, something I had to really reflect on. Like, damn.
Now I have to show up drunk to one of your things.
now it's only fair
it's
that
only
you show up drunk to my show.
Like next time you have a show at Yoshi's, I'm just gonna order like, I don't know, 10 gallons worth of sake just to even it out.
No, but for real, like,
Marco said this was okay.
Play
Marco
the Maroon
says,
5. Hey, look, Maroon 5 played Jane. Played Jane songs.
Yeah.
Songs about Jane. Yeah, it was.
No, but like for real, you know, you and I have had fun without alcohol.
100%.
Many times.
100%. Yeah.
With, you know, each one of us, like when you come over, I'm not drinking, right? No, we can do it, man. It's possible.
Hey, you know what's a really great alternative? Working out.
Oh, that's why I've been exercising.
Let's start a gym club, y'all.
Now you got an appetite. Speaking of appetite, we're getting ready to close out this episode. We got some food waiting for us.
Got some food waiting for us.
I'll let you close that out, bro.
I mean, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys letting me.
Keep going.
Oh, we're proud of you, bro.
We're proud of you.
We're proud of you for doing this and taking this step. A lot of people don't even make it this far. So the fact that
I'm still very young in my recovery process, but you know what? If you know,
you're past 25. You're not young. It's all down.
I meant in the
way to go.
It's all downhill from here.
You're a quarter way through life.
No, in the recovery process, you're doing great. But as a human, it's all downhill from here. 25. Your balls start sagging.
You're still voting Democrat.
Oh my gosh.
All right, close us out.
All right, man. I really appreciate you guys. I hope that this talk, for anyone that's listening, could help somebody. I really do, and thank you guys.
You're welcome.
That's been the Voice Party,
and we're out.
Cheers,
Man.
Cheers.
Indeed.
Cheers.